had intended to make this video on, the 1st of January, but I was on a Christmas break then, and I sort of just delved into a routine of laziness, but we're still close enough to talk about, I think, some New Year's resolutions. And the ones I'll share with you today will be the ones related to my coming year as a PhD student. One thing I want to improve on that I think is important for grad students is to read a lot of papers in my field of research. I think that's sort of really important to stay at the top of your field and to know what's going on. I know one of my supervisors said to me that when a student finishes their PhD or when they're towards the end, the difference between a good and a bad student is that the good one has continuously read lots of journal articles over the course of the last few years, whilst the bad student is trying to catch up on all that reading. So to avoid being the bad student, I do want to stay up to date with what's going on in my field. I think another thing that's important to think about as a grad student is the need to publish your own papers. So it really depends on the field that you're working in, but there's kind of an expectation that you have maybe at least 3 or 4 first author papers to your name by the end of your PhD program. That would indicate that the work you've done is novel and is a significant contribution. So I want to hopefully this year, or at least in the first half of the year as well, get my first published paper out. So there's one I've worked on the manuscript of already, and I hear that the process of maybe editing and going through peer review is quite lengthy, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can get that out as soon as possible. A third thing that I want to remember to do this year is to be brave. So there's a lot of things that I think can be quite scary about being at the start of your PhD or being a grad student, and that's trying to set up collaborations, emailing people that you don't know and asking for things, doing a lot of emailing, and just also meeting people at conferences, talking to people, and really sort of knowing what to ask for and not being shy to talk to people that are the top of their field and not being intimidated by them. I feel like I was quite brave last year, and I want to continue that because at least for me it's not always so easy. I feel like I'm a really shy person and even have a bit of social anxiety in a lot of settings. But I think the only way to overcome that, at least for me, is to continue to do things that I would consider brave. Feel free to share your resolutions for the year with me, whether they're academic related or personal. I'd love to hear what other people are trying to work on, and I hope you have a great 2018.